Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. One of the main ingredients that makes Enlisted unique among the plethora of shooters is its inclusion of bots, or artificial intelligence, that accompanies you on your endeavors no matter what squad you choose, ranging from 2 to 6 extra combatants, or lives if you will. Well, unless you're, I guess, kind of broke on the soldier orders aspect of things, and then, also if you're using an attacker pilot squad, then you won't be getting many AI companions, but that is neither here nor there. These bots are programmed to do a multitude of things on command, ranging from attacking, holding positions, to destroying vehicles, and even helping you build structures, depending on the type of soldier you have available. But me personally, if you ask, what they are best at doing is basically jack shit and getting in your way, doing stuff that you don't need them to do, and eventually ending up being cannon fodder and extra XP to the enemy team. And unfortunately, reflecting upon games like Brothers in Arms, SOCOM, and any other game that gives you command over artificial intelligence, I feel like this game, or the artificial intelligence in this game rather, could be a little more, well, intelligent. This problem is compounded even more so by the removal of the Lone Fighters game mode. And quite frankly, that game mode was very popular when it was introduced a long time ago, and what it did is that it removed the use of bots entirely for actual players, and usually the game modes would actually be pretty full on both sides, so that's something that you don't see very often nowadays. And I'm aware that you can still play this game mode in custom matches, but I mean, come on man, let's be real. If I take a screenshot of like the custom match lobbies that are available, especially if you're on console, you will see why this is pretty much impossible to play for anybody who is not on PC. So if you and me are pretty much going to be forced to play with these bots, I want them to be a little more than easy XP for the other team, or extra lives that I try to keep as far away from the front lines as possible. And as such, have come up with a few suggestions that I would just like to share with you guys and get some better utility out of them and see what you guys are thinking about it. So I got to thinking about this logically, and I found that an improvement in lethality alone isn't exactly what I want to see as far as upgrades. I decided to break it down into a few categories, one being how they behave on defense, 2 being how they behave on offense as a counterpart, and then 3 just what they could do with the AI generally speaking to make them better, just be if I have to coexist with them and they have to be a part of my team. From the aspect of defense, I believe the AI is the worst offender in this category. From the moment of my inception playing this game, these motherfuckers, bruh, like, the most that they will do is run to the fucking point and just stand there. They'll stand there the entire game just looking googly-eyed like they don't got shit better to do than just get blown up by artillery. What I would suggest is making them way more multifaceted than standing around and occasionally shooting at a target if I am the one who marks in a certain area. Suppose I equip one of them with an anti-tank or anti-personal mine, either from my command or of their own volition, logically knowing that tanks typically follow the road and the direction that enemies are coming from. Why can't they place landmines down while I run off with an engineer somewhere and build a rally point myself? It would be so much more convenient than them following me around doing jack shit like most of my actual real teammates. So it's kind of annoying to have liabilities in actual players and in the artificial intelligence, you know what I'm saying? To further flesh out my point when it comes to defending, how easily the enemy team captures the first point usually has a dramatic tonal effect on the game. I'm particularly referring to the weak-willed players who quit instead of trying harder or being smarter about their gameplay. Not that quitters are much more useful than, AI anyways, but I guess at a certain point it's a little bit debatable. Anyways, aside from being able to place down mines, I would also like to see them not stand in the middle of the point not doing anything simply because I ordered them to defend the objective. Much of what entails playing defense in this game isn't simply relegated to sitting on the circle and waiting for the enemy to come to you, and you would think that the developers would understand that and make sure that the AI play like they understand that as well. I shit you not, if we let the AI play against each other, I'm pretty sure the offense team would win more often than not, because at least they attack from different directions. The defensive AI, on the other hand, literally have no strategy, let alone common sense. What cover is available on the OBJ, they rarely ever use it, and I think they would be better on defense if engineers that are not being commandeered by the actual player could build stuff on their own as well. Very often I find the point is being assaulted, and it's an impossible task to divide yourself among the duties of defending a contested point while also finding a good spot to put a rally point up, and also fortifying and building ammo boxes and anti-aircraft guns and anti-tank guns at the same time. I understand that's what teammates for, but if they are not doing it, then eventually somebody has to do it, and I feel like if I have 4 or 3 or however many engineers in my squad, I should be able to assign them to build something individually, one of those things at least. The squad where this really hurts me the most is the engineer squad, because it's already composed of 4 or 5 engineers, and I just feel like the lack of artificial intelligence agency really hampers the engineer's ability to perform at maximum output. And yeah, man, not only that, I just feel like artificial intelligence, especially on defense, should also have the ability to commandeer some of these anti-aircraft and anti-tank guns, as well as the machine guns. That way we can delegate some of the responsibility to them blowing up stuff while we handle the infantry, because we both know that our bots have the worst aim in the world unless they are on the other team. So we should handle the infantry and then let them handle all the other stuff, or at least give them the ability to take on some of those tasks. When it comes to how they behave on offense, I don't think the problems in that area are nearly as egregious, but I do think there is room for improvement, particularly when it comes to flanking and traversal of the artificial intelligence. Me personally, when I try to attack a point, I'm moving from cover to cover, using my melee weapon and bayonet charge to get maximum speed output. I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing the same thing that play this game as well at a high level, but when you turn around and look at your bot and AI companions on the other hand, you see them moving with no tact and no finesse whatsoever, almost running in a straight line as if they are intentionally trying to die. And I do understand that we have the ability to change our squad formations between like tight, normal, and wide, but I feel like this should be fleshed out a little more than it currently is. What I would suggest is an ability to tell your squad to attack with more of a flanking mindset. What this would involve is them taking a very hard left or right flank to avoid the enemy frontal approach as much as possible. Of course, the flip side of that would be the irregular attack command that we currently have in the game right now, where they just run straight at the OBJ more or less. The last thing that I would suggest is a more suppressive type of attacking command, where they don't necessarily look to get on the OBJ, but more so that they would get into a good position nearby the OBJ and just try to shoot at enemies, whether they be on the point or coming to reinforce. This would be great for snipers, machine gunners, and squads like that. The bulk of the problem with AI is exemplified in squads that are entirely composed of AI and not controlled by players at all, if I'm being quite frank with you. Some of you may recall an update a while ago where engineers and AI squads gained the ability to build rally points on their own. I think total I have seen that maybe like 1 to 10 times. I can count it on both my hands. It hasn't been a lot ever since that they have built rally points of their own volition. And basically what I'm saying is that if there is a slider to adjust how aggressive the AI squad seek to build rally points, it should definitely be increased. At the very least, they should act like it is a necessity if the actual players have not built one themselves. I think the best way that we can make this happen is by making the command wheel actually have more use than annoying your teammates in the occasional occasion when someone actually gives you what you need. Not only that, I think I'm speaking for everybody who plays this game when I say that the command wheel will be so much cooler if I could, select enemy coordination or need enemy coordinates, and then the bot snipers could, actually mark some targets for me. Or just a off idea here, maybe they introduce a spotter class to highlight enemy tanks and planes and emplacements permanently instead of only for 15 seconds. Maybe you could even spot enemy players like up to 5. I don't think you should mark everybody on the map because that would be kind of OP, but just something to give the bots a little more utility and subsequently give us more tools at our disposal in the event our human teammates are lacking for one reason or another. From what I've read online, as bad as the bots are generally speaking, they still outperform some actual players, which blows my mind quite frankly. But I don't think that is a reason to make the bots any less useful than they are now. They should be way more useful than they are now as well. And lastly, notice how pretty much 90% of everything that I am suggesting has nothing to do with how good they are at shooting the enemy players. I think they are in a pretty good spot there. I'm not asking them to go back to the days of old when bots could literally snipe you across the map with a headshot. That was pretty absurd and actually made the game very annoying. But in the same respect, I don't think bots should, essentially just be on the point doing jack shit all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so annoying when you turn around and see your entire squad just getting mowed down, even though you literally commanded them to defend the point. In that instance, you would expect them to at least be doing a 360 surveillance of the area and not being so easily snuck up on. But I mean, that's just me and my personal opinion. I do want to know what you guys think about the general usefulness of the AI in this game. Not only the ones that are actually in your squad, but the ones that are entirely composed of their own squad as well. Let me know any other suggestions you would have down in the comments on making them better, and I do appreciate you guys for watching the video. Other than that, don't forget to aim for that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates, improve your skill-based matchmaking, and thanks again for watching. Black Eye out.